What's happening, y'all? It's your boy Ben Mahari here, representing Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. Hope y'all had a good weekend, and congratulations to the Indiana Pacers for finally making the NBA Finals for the first time in 25 years. So, a long drought for them has come to an end. But I wanted to talk about my thoughts on the NBA on TNT finally coming to a conclusion after 36 long years. I know it's been that long, and I'll tell you what. I would never have thought in a million years that we would see the end of the NBA on TNT because, to be honest with you, the relationship between Turner Sports and the NBA goes back to the mid-'80s when the NBA was broadcasting their games on TBS at the time, before TNT was ever created. And from 1989 all the way to 2025, 36 years of unforgettable moments and unforgettable games. And, a lot of great broadcasters, studio analysts, you name it. It's been a wonderful ride. And personally for me, I watched the NBA on TNT, I think right around 2000, 2001. Now, I knew of it back in around 99, but at the time, my family didn't have cable. So we could not see what the NBA on TNT was look like, or we didn't even. Most of my family didn't even knew that there were other games broadcasted outside of obviously NBC, of course. But as time has progressed, we saw the NBA on TNT inside the NBA grow into the comedy show that it was, and man, they put on a lot of laughs for us every Tuesday or Thursday nights, and they became a staple for a lot of us to watch a lot of the games. And also a lot of the segments and a lot of the different kind of commentary that you see. Now, when it was just the three of Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, and Charles Barkley, that's when the show was at its best. I never was a big fan of having Shaq on the network, even though he gradually started to fit in. The thing with Shaq was that Shaq was probably one of the most ill-informed analysts that I've ever seen, because a lot of the things that Shaq talked about, he was not informed, he was always corrected upon, and he always showed a lot of sensitivity a lot of the time. And it just drove you absolutely crazy when you're watching inside the NBA a lot of the time. But, at the end of the day, it is what it is, and I could go on my criticism of inside the NBA all I want to. But truthfully, we're going to certainly miss them for all the entertainment that they provided. And, they do have a lot of the criticism that comes along with it too. I mean, that's just a fact. But now, as they are now closing the book on this network, I just want to personally show my gratitude and, thanks for all the memories that they provided for us, especially all the funny stuff, like the bracelet story Charles Barkley talked about, San Antonio women. I mean, shoot. Even some of the Shaq and the Fool, segments were kind of funny, but then it became bullying to the point where it became insufferable. But, the Inside the NBA was so much fun. It was so entertaining, and my favorite one is Run Through the Tape, especially when Chris Webber was basically doing those individual competitions, and he always kept saying "Run through the tape." It was so much fun. I really appreciated that. But 36 years, and there were so many great analysts that were there from the beginning, and certainly Craig Sager was smiling upon us in heaven, man. And it just makes you feel sad that he's not here to celebrate this 36 years of great work that TNT has provided, for the NBA and for a lot of the viewers. But now, as we prepare for a new chapter of Amazon and NBC coming in, I'm anxious to see how NBC is going to look now. Remember, this is going to be the first time in 23 years that they're going to broadcast the NBA. So I'm anxious to see how it's going to look. I'm going to save my commentary about Michael Jordan being a special contributor to NBC because I'm telling you, he's not going to turn out to be what you guys expected him to be. So stay tuned for that. But thank you, TNT, for all the great memories. And, as Inside the NBA is going to be moved to ESPN, I hope that they don't bring any of those stupid idiot ESPN analysts like Stephen A. Smith on the show. Because honestly, Stephen A. Smith has been overexposed a lot on ESPN. Way too much. I know he's the highest paid person on the network, but man, does he have to show his face everywhere? Like, good grief. But anyway, we'll see what happens. How and Inside the NBA is going to be moved to ESPN now. I know that the whole crew and producers and camera people are still going to be there in Atlanta, Georgia, but it's going to be on a different network. So we'll see how Inside the NBA is going to continue on in ESPN. So that just is what it is, man. Let me know what you all think in the comment section below. With that, I'm out. Peace.